On this week's episode of the Digital Marketing Scoop, I'm going to be talking about 3 Google Analytics reports to help you better understand your customer and increase your sales. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Digital Marketing Scoop. So this week I'm going to chat about 3 Google Analytics reports that hopefully, if you haven't been using them after this, you'll start using them, and hopefully it will help you increase your leads and your sales. So the first report is the landing pages report. So in your analytics, you'll find that under behavior and then site content. So what the landing pages report is going to show you is the pages that people land on when they first visited your website. So for a lot of you probably listening, that's going to be the home page of your website. So a very important metric to look at in that landing pages report, especially if the home page is your first page up there, so the page that most people visit the most on the first entry, is the bounce rate. Because when people hit your site once, if it's like really good content, like say for example they searched something specific on Google, landed on the page, that page gave them the answer and they bounced off, then that's fine. You maybe helped them, maybe they've taken the action you wanted them to take. But on the homepage, it's very rare that that's the only place you want your visitor to be. You want them to move on to maybe into your services, into a particular product, into a blog, wherever along the customer path or the customer funnel. So if you've got a very high bounce rate on that homepage, 50, 60, 70%, whatever it might be, that's definitely something you need to look at. There's something up there. There's an issue basically, because that means that they're going, the first page they're hitting on their website is your homepage and they're gone. There's definitely an issue. Now, the only time maybe to think about where there mightn't be is maybe, for example, you're a restaurant. A lot of people might just be going straight for a phone number. You have to kind of think about your business where with regards to that issue. But I think for most people, if you've got a very high bounce rate on your homepage, there's definitely an issue there. So that is something to look into. So in that landing pages report as well, it's a great way to identify high traffic entry pages. So for example, with a client of ours, we identified in this report that there was a load of people entering the website through a blog category page. So it wasn't a specific article. It was a page with a category of blogs. So there was like maybe 10 blog posts on the page. You press next, you see the next 10 and so on and so forth. So this page had developed a huge amount of organic rankings over time. Through the report, we saw, okay, there's a load of people entering through here. But there was a pretty high bounce rate. So when we went then and we looked into Google Search Console and we saw the keywords that people were searching were not directly related to the category page. So the category page was about reviews of specific products. But the actual people who were searching, they wanted to purchase the specific product. So what we ended up doing was setting up at the very top of that page a button so that people could shop all the products in that category straight away. So the people who wanted the content was there. But now we had all this traffic coming here who we knew were interested in buying the product. So we just made it really, really simple for them to go straight and buy those products. So they're the type of insights you can figure out by looking into your analytics, looking into your landing pages, because maybe your homepage, we'll say for example, isn't the page where people are entering through the most. You might have some other page that's ranking really well that you don't know about. So it's a very interesting report, and when you combine it with other tools, like say for example Google Search Console, you can really find some interesting insights and make some decisions that are hopefully going to increase your leads and sales. So the second report we're going to look at is the site speed report. So we are always banging on here about how important site speed is. We all know if we hit a website and it takes ages to load, we're gone. So this will break down for you the average speed across your entire website, but you can also drill down and dig into the individual speed of different pages. So for example, if you saw in your landing page report some sites where people were entering and had a really high bounce rate, might be a really good idea to look in your site speed report, see is there any particular problems with the with the speed on that page. Maybe you've got some massive images in there that weren't compressed, or there may be other issues at play, but it's a really, really important site speed. So jump into your Google Analytics, look at your site speed report. Is the average site speed, healthy? It's not up at like 6, 7, 8 seconds. And is there any individual pages, especially ones with high traffic, that are giving you any issues, that are taking way too long to load? And the last report is the top conversion paths report. So this is specifically for e-commerce sites. So you'll find this in the e-commerce section under conversions, multi-channel funnels, top conversion paths. So what this report does is it shows you the path somebody took in entering your website to becoming a customer. So for example, maybe the first was an organic search, but then they saw you on Facebook and they went through Facebook, and then they saw you in a Google ad and purchased that time. So that path would have been organic, social media, Google ads. Why this is really important is that potentially in your reporting, that purchase might be seen as a Google ads purchase, but also your organic and your social media also assisted with that purchase. So it's a really, really good report to get, an overall look at all your marketing channels, everywhere where your traffic is coming from, and seeing how they're assisting in that journey. So for example, like things like maybe Google Display, sometimes we've noticed, people will turn that off. It might have a very low conversion rate. But again, it might be playing quite a strong part in that customer journey. So that metric is a really nice one, as I said, to see, the role social media is playing in conversions, in e-commerce conversions, the role organic is playing, Google ads, YouTube. It can break down those different conversion paths for you. So it's really, really important, because if we're completely focused on last click attribution, the last click somebody took, and that's what we're attributing the purchase to, there's going to be so many more steps potentially before that last click and the purchase. So it's really important to be aware, that you're aware of it, your marketing team are aware of it, what those customers are doing before they make that purchase and where they're coming from in that research phase before they make the purchase. So I hope those 3 reports will help you hopefully get more traffic, and hopefully help you turn more of your existing traffic into more sales and into more leads. Thanks for listening. That's been this week's episode of the Digital Marketing Scoop. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of the Digital Marketing Scoop. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please jump into your Apple Podcasts, your Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast platform is, and just make sure to follow and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to leave a review if you enjoyed the episode, I'd absolutely love for you to do that. We put out an episode every single week, all with digital marketing tips, case studies, ways to build your business with digital marketing. Also, if you are interested in bringing your own business online or looking at scaling your business, we'd love to chat with you here at CLIQ. You can visit us online at CLIQ.ie.